Don't scroll. God is trying to talk to you today in this message. You know, just 2 days ago, I was with my mom. We were talking about God, and I was trying to spend time with my mom. We were actually just in the car. Then the next thing I find myself taking out my mom's phone, which was on her lap, and she was trying to take it back from me. And just then and there, the daily Bible verse pops out. I told my mom, okay, you know what? How about I finish reading the Bible verse first, then I'll give back your phone. Then she agreed. And when I read this verse, it completely shook me. It left me in a way. It really got me thinking. And this verse came from the book of Romans, chapter 14 and verse 8, where it says, whether we live to the Lord. Whether we die to the Lord. Whether we live or die, we belong to the Lord. Now what does this mean? It started off by saying, whether we live to the Lord. And this really got me thinking, how many times do we as people try to live our life without God, sometimes knowingly, unknowingly? And when that feeling of depression, anxiety or loneliness comes, instead of turning towards God, we try to fill our life with other things besides God. For example, we start to go out to parties more often. We start to have sex more often. We start to drink more often. And sometimes we start to fill ourselves with more people more often to avoid that feeling of loneliness and depression. But you still find yourself feeling lonely or not at peace within. Because in this world, although you may have everything, but you'll never find peace without the Prince of Peace, which is Jesus Christ. Allowing Jesus Christ into your life is the first and only step to finding peace, because He is the Prince of Peace. I need you to think about that for a moment. Then it goes on to say, whether we die to the Lord. Now what does this mean? It means when it's all said and done, you only see one at the gates of heaven. Not Muhammad, not Buddha, but Jesus Christ, the one true living God. Many a times we live our lives with no regard or fear for God. Although we all know that we're all going to die one day, but it doesn't stop there. Judgment is real. Judgment is very real. You will see God on the last day and be judged accordingly to your deeds. So when we die, we won't just go to the ground and stay there. We will go to God and await His judgment. It is much better to spend your life in God's mercy and love than to spend an eternity away from God. And lastly, the verse says, whether we live or die, we belong to the Lord. Which means, whether we're alive or dead, we are still God's own. Think about this. In the beginning, there was total darkness and no light. And God chose to bring light into this world. God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that the light was good. So God separated the light from the darkness. If you have Christ, you have the light of life. We know this because the scriptures say in John 8 verse 12, I am the light of the world. Whoever believes in me will have the light of life. Listen, I'll say it again. When it's all said and done, you only see one at the gates of heaven. Live for God, live for Christ, to live with Christ. It's that simple. And if this message blessed you today, please share this message with just 3 other people so they can know this too. Stay blessed and stay focused. You gotta stay focused, man.